Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Pinball FX2. So today is the day. The series of Star Wars tables is done. At the end of this recording it's done. We're doing Boba Fett. Last time we did X-Men. X-Men was moderately, slightly above average, but nowhere good enough for the title of X-Men. Boba Fett here, he's a big ticket guy. I know fans of Star Wars love a lot of different characters, but there's really not a good reason why this shouldn't be a good table. So let's hop into it and see what the achievements are. Collect all of the Emperor special assignments for Boba Fett. Complete all the Hutt Cartel special assignments. So, Boba Fett is a bounty hunter, so I imagine this table will be centered around bounty hunting. Immediately here I see another one of these split designs. I don't know what got in their head to make tables with these split designs where one side is light, the other side is dark. I think they took the idea of the light side and the dark side in Star Wars to an insane explanation. So that looks like a weird trapped ball that's made out of something heavy. And it's up a ramp, and there's a Sarlacc pit. There's a trooper up there. We can see the dot matrix screen on the backboard. That's unique. Most of the tables don't bother to even show that. Seems like there's some flappers there on the right that would allow you to bump the ball back into play. Interesting boss. These look like other bounty hunters that worked for Jabba the Hutt. A cross-shot bar. Lego Star Wars The Complete Collection has a extra bonus level where you unlock all the bounty hunters for Jabba the Hutt, and then you run around levels playing hide and seek trying to find people, basically. Super jackpot. This is going to be interesting. We have Han Solo there in Carbonite. It looks like the table might have too many ramps again, but before we just say that, it looks like there's also a sneak shot where you'd hit the ball straight up on the left there. Let's start playing. We'll try for, let's see, where's our skill shot? Is it halfway here? I think it is. See, there was a sneak there.
Once I've caught my prey, nothing stops me from bringing it in. Nothing.
Pop-up bumpers.
If I take on the job, I complete it. And everyone in the galaxy knows that. Don't move.
So, is this the voice of Boba Fett, or did they re-voice him? I haven't watched enough Star Wars to even know. So, the ball in front of that trap ball, I think, is really heavy. Either that or it's really light. Well, it bounced the thing. And when it bounced that seesaw, it opened up a new path. Interesting. We've seen a seesaw in the Daredevil level, but we haven't seen it in any of the other tables, and they probably could have done more with it, almost certainly. So we've seen 52 tables now, and I would say 40 of them are very much just slight changes from very basic things. Very basic designs that don't have any interesting tools or toys or tricks or anything.
You may not pass. Rivals? I don't think so.
So the cross shot there, oh man, I missed that. Oh man. Sometimes I feel so slow. Sometimes I am so slow. So I don't know what that was. Is that a rocket? That the plunger is supposed to be? So the center shots seem to do something.
Don't move.
We don't have any 3D characters in the lower playfield. That's nice. It's, in fact, quite devoid of any distractions, and yet somehow I'm still losing. I can't blame anybody but myself on that one. So
there are no jobs for bounty hunters now.
I think we're spelling huts. Is that what it's spelling? 30 million or respect level plus 3. I'll take 30 million, sure. So, Jabba the Hutt or some other hut told me to do something, so I did it, right? So I'm doing it now. Spelling Boba Fett. We got a lot of ramps that are blinking. Come on. Notice how I just cross-shot the ball into the in lane on the other side. That's a dangerous thing to do. So I've got 2 more shots to aim for on the left side. 1 more. Looks like I failed.
Excellent.
But I got a decent amount of
friends.
Score there. 6 million feels pretty good, and it feels kind of earned too. Doesn't feel like one of these tables that just gives you points for nothing. Let's read the table guide now. Getting a contract, shoot the middle orbits and collect the letters Empire, and shoot the sinkhole under TTBL to collect the letter Huts. When all the letters are collected from one of these words, the respective side will offer you a job. So you take it from the Empire or the Huts. Interesting. You don't work for the Rebels or the Alliance at all. Multi-ball is done by finishing a job and then hitting whatever's flashing there, I suppose. Sharpshooter shot is the skill shot. Well, it said something about let's see, video mode in the dot matrix display mode 2 apparently for the sharpshooter shot. Wild space, rivalry hurry up by hitting those, combos by hitting those, max thrust by hitting these, rapid fire by hitting those, highest bidder by hitting those, whip save by spelling whip, W-H-I-P. Does Boba Fett have a whip? Homing missiles. Interesting mode. Extra ball is by getting up there. How do you even get up there? You must have to hit a loop shot. And I think that's it. There's no real like specific special missions or anything, it seems.
Skill shot.
Right. Sharpshooter shot. Pull the trigger and 50k. What was I doing there?
I deliver. Once I've caught my prey, nothing stops me from bringing it in. Nothing. If I take on the job, I complete it. And everyone in the galaxy knows that.
He's gonna say that at the beginning of each game, I imagine. I suspect that's gonna get annoying. What won't be as annoying is we are not listening to the Star Wars music yet again. Having gone through about 20 Star Wars tables, they found one piece of instrumental music that's not just completely identical sounding to the main, most famous one. And this probably is just a different melody version of the same song. In fact, this song kind of sounds more like an Indiana Jones song. Steven Spielberg making both of them. Although, I guess that probably has more to do with who Steven Spielberg hired as the composer than the director. It'd be very weird if a director got too involved in the sound design. It's kind of weird. Orchestral music kind of has lost its place in society. There's not a significant number of times where you'll just go listen to an orchestra. Maybe if you are an orchestra fan, you'll do it once a month.
Rivals.
But if you're
I don't think so.
a normal person, you probably won't ever do it. So the only time you'd even hear music like that would be, as background music.
Not yet.
So he does have a whip, and he just pulls the ball right out of the gutter. Obviously, I'm not the biggest Star Wars fan or Boba Fett fan. I don't even know what instruments he has.
Skill shot.
So pull the triggers harder for more valuable targets. Pull the triggers for... What are we looking for? 50k? Status report? Let's see, what am I waiting is? 1k. I am not sure what I was supposed to do there. 1k is probably not much.
All well and good. We'll meet again, friends.
That skill shot really violates the first rule again, doesn't it? Don't slow down the gameplay, the actual moving of the ball. And that's exactly what it's doing, is just taking this break.
I deliver. Once I've caught my prey, nothing stops me from bringing it in. Nothing. If I take on the job,
we're in another one of these tables where
everyone in the
I'm
galaxy
being
knows that.
butterfingers. I'm not sure if I'm ready to blame the table yet. We can see though, consistent problem, too many ramps, even with the seesaw and the spinner in the middle, which is kind of a nice twist, carbonite spinner. And the bumpers are still not as good as I would like them.
There are no jobs for bounty hunters now.
Getting up this ramp on the right seems to be very difficult.
I have a proposition for you.
Is that an Empire job?
Great. The right tool for every job.
Now, if I'm understanding correctly, Boba Fett is the son of Jango Fett, and he's kind of seeking
I'm not quitting now.
revenge
Not yet.
as he's being a bounty hunter after his father died. Seems like your father was an incredibly dangerous job, and you just chose to be in that incredibly dangerous job also. I can't really have too much sympathy for bounty hunters. You're putting yourself in risk for money.
3, 2, 1.
Ball is locked. So 40 million, 50 million. We'll do 50 million.
No disintegrations.
As you wish.
No disintegrations. Bring them back alive.
Impressive.
So each one of these,
Most
I think,
impressive.
is just more, maybe more targets that I actually have to hit. So if I had taken the less difficult job, I probably would have had a better chance of succeeding there. Five more hits needed.
3, 2, 1.
Did I run out of time? Yep. Took too long. So I should have taken the easier one.
To the destination.
Quick multi-ball? Sure.
No one can enter.
Did I choose the wrong thing? Apparently. I was going for the quick multi-ball.
Halt! You may not stop.
Be collected.
Easy bounty collected. And we're ready to get a hut job. If we don't lose the ball first.
Skill shot.
Pull the trigger for harder, more valuable targets. Alright, so now I have to hit A. Ah. Let's see, it was showing a picture of Darth Vader and some other people.
Focus.
So Imperial assignment again. We'll take the 30 million one.
Don't fail me this time, bounty hunter.
What's funny is, since it's only BOP lit up, he's just Bob Fett. All these made up names are kind of ridiculous. Come on. Come on, let me get these shots. Do I have more time because I took the easier one? I have 21 seconds to get 3 more shots. It's unlikely I'm going to get this done. Ten seconds. Did that give me another set of time? Yes, 30 seconds to maybe make another one. So, what would I want improved on this table? As we're looking here.
Don't move.
I'm not seeing anything really specific. I don't like the. I don't like the. Let's go down to like 10 million. Let's go real easy. It seems to start you in the middle, and that's only worth like 1 B. So you have to spell Boba Fett, so in theory you could take 2 bounties and spell Boba Fett, maybe.
I'm not quitting now. Not yet.
I just need to make 2 shots here. You see, that would work a lot better for me, probably,
Meet again,
to
friends.
sit you
Game over.
and try several 10 million missions versus one more difficult mission.
I deliver. Once I've caught my prey, nothing stops me from bringing it in. Nothing. If I take on the job,
The thing about the seesaw is that
everyone in the
it's, once you
galaxy knows
play
that.
it, it's done. And it doesn't reset at all until after the game is completely played. I would think it would be nicer if there was a way for it to be reset for certain modes or a mission. Put some more use or reason for that to be there, instead of just being this single challenge you just have to pull off every time you start a game and then forget about for the rest of it. Maybe we could have a drop-down target. Maybe we could have some sinkhole targets. Some of these ramps could have been changed, did something different. It would have been nice if there was a mini play field. That's always the case.
Great.
Maybe the Sarlacc pit. Could have been a mini play field. Could have been fighting it. Allegedly, Boba Fett didn't actually die in the Sarlacc pit, although the movie certainly wrote it and displayed it like he did. Because they want to bring him back in the new series or some of these spin-off new series. So he may not be in episode 8 or anything, but he may very well be in Rogue One or something like that. I don't like how the lights get dim as it's going out. I don't need that insult to injury there. Let's see. Not knowing that much about Boba Fett, it's kind of hard to decide what would be thematically the best thing to add to the table, but almost certainly there should be a sharpshooter mini game or something besides the skill shot that's easier to start with than just 3 times per game, or how many other balls you have in your game. There could have been a fighting or flying mini
Authorized
game or
personnel
element.
only.
He does have this hover jet.
Multi-ball mode initiated.
Interesting. Why did I start a multi-ball? How did I start a multi-ball? What did I do to start the multi-ball? Well, whatever's happening, it's not letting me bounce that ball.
Jackpot increasing.
Oh.
Easy bounty collected.
And I lose the ball at the end there. Yeah, that's his hover jet is what that is. Come to think of it. That's what the plunger is supposed to represent. I suppose with the new story they could add more to Boba Fett and have him be a more interesting character. One assumes he's just another humanoid looking person. Star Wars really needs to address that without creating another Jar Jar Binks. And they can't just leave it to the Clone Wars and Star Wars Rebels to address that issue. In fact, a little bit of universe building would probably be appreciated by me a little bit, because this whole a long time ago in a galaxy far away kind of puts everything in our universe, and so in a galaxy far away. So that means that there theoretically is an Earth that's potentially doesn't even have humans on it yet. And I wouldn't want this to turn into like the remake of Battlestar Galactica, where they were flying to Earth the whole time from other planets, humanoids, and that's where all the humans on Earth came from. But according to that series. But I would like to know why there are so many human-looking creatures on so many different planets. Who seeded this? What happened? At some level there was something before the Empire. Who got the first ability to fly to a different planet?
Once I've caught my prey, nothing stops me from bringing it in.
Are there certain planets that are it's illegal to visit because they're not evolved enough? Is there a prime directive type thing like Star Trek? Or is it that there are just planets in the Empire that the Sith or the First Order or whoever try to dominate and show up and act like they're gods or something and trick? You could probably pull that off pretty well if you're a Sith and you have Force powers. Easy to convince people that you're magical. Then, when you practically are. Is that why there's so many stormtroopers? Do they just pick them up off backwards planets? Why do all the planets in the Star Wars universe have only one environment? It's just a desert planet, or it's just a forest planet. Well, the real reason for that is simple. They're bad riders.
Put down. Guaranteed.
But it'd be nice if they tried to explain that a little bit better. Although I don't want them to get too crazy on it. Spending a lot of energy to answer the pedantic questions of nerds like me isn't going to get the new kids into watching the next Star Wars. And you may have already lost the fandom of the pedantic nerds like me.
You may not pass.
Choose a destination.
Alright, quick or... I don't understand what the choose a destination thing was. Didn't feel like I chose a destination there. So some of these shots I've got down pat. Some of these shots not so much. And it is a little easy to drain out here. You can see I've only been playing 30 minutes and I feel like I'm on my 5th game already. So halfway through an hour's worth of play, I'm ready to start making that statement. This is one of those tables
No one
where
can enter.
if they had done some better quality assurance, made sure the angles don't feed into the outlane on the left, which happens a lot more than on the right for some reason. And the ball doesn't just have a tendency to curve right in between the two flippers, which is happening a lot here.
Excellent. We'll meet again, friends.
So, because there's like no mission here, and it's just these bounty things to hit lit lanes, I really don't think I'd come back to this table.
I deliver.
I
Once
suppose
I've caught my prey, nothing stops
if I
me
want
from
to play a
bringing it in.
Star Wars table
Nothing.
that's not
If I take on the
objectionable
job, I
and
complete
has
it.
nothing weird about
Everyone
it,
in the galaxy knows
this
that.
might be the table for me. But on the other hand, why not just go play the Darth Vader table? It was more interesting and a little bit better designed. There would be nothing really. So far, I haven't seen anything that really makes me want to stop playing, but there's nothing here that really makes me want to continue playing either. Doesn't Boba Fett have some explosives too? He does in Lego Star Wars, and that's where I'm getting a lot of my knowledge from. Doesn't he have the thermal detonator thing? By the way, the thermal detonator means nothing. As an argument, it's a detonator to a bomb that works through thermal energy. So as soon as your control handset gets hot, it sets off the bomb, or does it detonate a thermal bomb? I guess that would just be a firebomb. It's a made-up word, of course. But
Don't move.
they had to do stuff like that, or at least they thought they needed to do something. Now, I really don't like that. I really do not like the idea of him shooting missiles and then bouncing the ball around. That's something you certainly couldn't do in a real-world pinball table, and it's going to affect where the ball goes in a random fashion. It's almost like I'm fighting Boba Fett, but aren't I playing as Boba Fett? So is this like training him? He's training himself?
Rivals? I don't think so.
How many huts are there in the Star Wars universe anyways? I'd like to know that. It doesn't seem like there's a planet full of them. A lot of the creatures we see, there seems to be very few of them. Could be that there's just a lot of planets that they don't visit. There's been talk of making a Mass Effect movie, and it would be interesting to see if they could make a new, better Star Wars style movie using the Mass Effect property. Probably not what we would see, but it would be interesting if that actually did happen, considering Mass Effect failed to even tell a good trilogy in its 3 games. Well, a trilogy that had a good ending, at the very least. And now they're trying to reboot that again.
Choose a destination.
So we got all this music playing. This is very strange music to be playing. We'll go down to 10 million. We don't really do anything with Jabba the Hutt here. We just watch him talk. Same as the truth for Darth Vader. He just kind of shows up and says some stuff in a language we don't understand. And then we bow our head. Boba Fett apparently doesn't even negotiate. Maybe he has an agent that does that for him. It's like, my standard rate is this. You will pay it. See, that would be an interesting way to add character to Boba Fett if he had like a R2-D2 robot that's negotiating. Not an R2-D2 robot, it'd have to be like a C-3PO robot that's negotiating for him his prices and collecting the money. What a nice little rut here. Rut's the wrong phrase. A nice little groove here. Keeping the ball in play for a decent amount of time. Watch, I'm gonna lose it here right now as soon as I mention it. Those Sarlacc arms are in the way. Another dangerous angle to aim for.
Jackpot.
So we know the jackpot is not hitting the seesaw.
Jackpot increasing.
So it's the, I believe, the ramp on the right.
Jackpot.
Or any of the blinking lanes.
Focus.
Got a ball save there. Nice.
I need ammunition.
This will hurry up. Come on.
I'm not quitting now. Not yet.
So, I don't know if there's really any kickbacks on this table. If you're getting separate whip saves for kickbacks versus the other things. Hit the heads. Go up there.
Easy bounty collected.
Hurry up.
Easy bounty collected, that's nice.
Time is up.
So, but an easy bounty collected doesn't turn it into a letter spelling Boba Fett. So you still have to actually do the other ones. I would have sworn I had spelled whip there. What's on the far left on the table?
All well and good. We'll meet again,
The
friends.
far lower left there.
Game over.
Seems like some kind of lock-in for a multi-ball. 40 minutes into this, and mostly done with the table, frankly.
Shot.
It's okay.
Good.
It's a alright table.
I
Just
deliver. Once I've
doesn't
caught
have
my
anything
prey,
very special
nothing
on
stops me from bringing it in.
it, and
Nothing.
I don't
If I take on the job,
think it's
I
really
completed.
doing
And everyone
anything
in the
special
galaxy
with
knows
Boba
that.
Fett anyways. So that's also an issue. This feels like a table that could
There are
easily
no
have been
jobs for bounty hunters
any
now.
other character. I think I would have definitely considered a giant Boba Fett helmet on the table. I think I would have had some kind of hovering over it. Try to put something more interesting than just one seesaw on the table. Mini playfield somewhere, definitely. Maybe a dot matrix scheme. Something to do with the thermal detonator, certainly. Flying a ship. Boba Fett flies his ships at some point, I think, so we'd have his ship show up. That is a little weird. It's nowhere here on the field. The Slave One. Is it because it's called the Slave One that it's not on the field? They're trying to have people forget that that was the name of it? Maybe. That is also certainly part of the element here, is that he's a bounty hunter for practically anybody, so he doesn't care if you've committed a crime against a legitimate government or not, because Jabba the Hutt certainly is not the legitimate government. He is the underground mafioso. If I can just get up this ramp on the right, the left. Man, my left and right's always backwards. It's been a problem all my life.
Guaranteed.
Get him backwards, never learned
All well and good. We'll meet again,
Too busy in
friends.
detention. Too busy getting detention that day when they were teaching in kindergarten, I suppose. Yep, I imagine somebody could do a pretty interesting supercut. Take all the episodes here and just record every time I said left and meant right, or right and meant left. You probably find quite a few examples if you are willing to watch over 50 hours of stuff, but I guess you are already probably watched over 50 hours if you started here at the beginning. So you pull back here and then release, and I'm not sure if it moves a little too fast to be able to be certain whether you could actually time that. It seems pretty random to me. Of course, I could have taken it slower and not sped up the spin, and then just hit the launch button, the A button on the controller. Having a launch button and a plunger is kind of redundant, and it doesn't happen that often in real world pinball tables. Most of them stick to just a plunger or just a launch button. Frankly, if your table just has a launch button and no plunger, I feel like you've cheated me a little bit on the pinball experience. There's just things in pinball that shouldn't change. I've made this argument before, but yeah. I want a skill shot, I want to aim, I want to be able to send the ball in some variety of directions.
Focus.
Focus, he says. Yeah, right. So that's the diverter there. I'd have to get on the left out lane to reach that diverter. That's okay, but I'm gonna make that shot.
Meet again, friends.
Didn't even get a million there. 45 minutes in. And there's a certain level of unfairness here, undoubtedly, because I don't sit here and waste a lot of time of reading every word of the table description. So it is possible, it is very possible that I'm missing elements to the table. But on the other hand, most pinball players would just walk up to a pinball table and play, and never read any description or instructions at all. And you kind of have to know your audience going in. It's true for all video games, practically. Hey, look, the ball's stuck. I have not seen the ball get stuck, so I'm not going to hit anything, and let's just see what happens. It destroyed the ball and launched it. That is not how that works in real world. That is not what would have happened at all. The table would have shook itself, or all the pop-up bumpers would have started going up and down to unlodge the ball. I was thinking that the engine even though I feel like there are multiple engines actually running on this, depending on the table. I was thinking the engine simply would never allow the ball to get stuck. That it would just always give you momentum even if you didn't deserve that momentum. Of course, the fact that the ball can get stuck is a lack of quality assurance, but it is also kind of pretty common amongst pinball tables. Things break, things are misaligned, there's rough spots on the wax on the table. So I wouldn't hold it against a real world table if the ball got stuck. So I can't really honestly hold it against this table either. In fact, I'm surprised it hasn't happened more often. I suppose you might very easily make the argument that since these are virtual tables, they are in way better shape than almost any table you would find in the real world. Because lots of pinball tables are going to be 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, maybe even 80 years old. If probably not 80, that seems a little long, but like they're going to be old. And even if it's a brand new table that's just been built, it's going to quickly become old. We are going to have to address the fact at some point that there are only 2 companies that are making pinball tables right now, and they can only make maybe 4 tables per year at most. Usually, I'd say it probably takes them 2 to 4 years to make one table. So for those elements, we are doomed as a pinball fan base because nobody's creating anything new, not even in the virtual reality aspect of it, or the virtual aspect in general, not just virtual reality. So, like, Pinball FX obviously is not making that many more tables. They may very well make one for episode 8 or for the next Marvel movie because they still have the license or want to keep the license, but they're not coming out with new ideas. They're not introducing a new table every month. I would be surprised if they make more than 10 more tables ever again. And Pinball Arcade is really only interested in recreating existing tables that are famous, and they can only do so much. And then there is this Kickstarter for one called Black Flaggers. I'm not suggesting anybody support it, but they're making a pinball table, pirate-based pinball table in Unreal, and that's cool, but that's probably the first new pinball table I've heard anybody make for a video game in
Once I've caught
5
my prey,
years.
nothing stops me from bringing
It's
it
not
in.
like Steam where people just
If I take on the job,
can make
I complete it.
Unity asset flips, and it's kind of a shame that they can't. If they were making as many pinball table games as they were hidden object games on Steam, I'd probably be set for life with the very low quality tables. Even lower quality than what Pinball FX is doing. Then I'd have a lot of garbage to sort through. But there's no pinball engine as there were, except for Unreal, and if you know how to program in Unreal, then you actually probably can make a real game and actually make money on it instead of making simplistic things or cell phone ports. Also, I didn't say pinball doesn't work on cell phones that well. It's probably too slow of a processor. Too much processor would be needed for a cell phone, and you don't have any controllers in your hands, So you'd be tapping on your screen, blocking your view, making it worse on yourself.
I'm not quitting now. Not yet.
A lot of ways, even the pinball that came with Windows 98, I believe it was, wasn't very good. But I remember playing it all the time. Was it just called Space Cadet on the Windows 98 game?
Halt! You may not pass.
Oh. This may be our last game. We'll look and see. We were about 45 minutes in when we started, and if we play a good game here for 10 to 15 minutes, I think we'll be done. I'm done with this Halo. I don't even really have great things to suggest to improve upon it. I'd say have some missions. Have some of the good guys show up. At the very least, have Han Solo show up. Have a chase submission, so that you can chase down your target. It seems a little weird that there's a stormtrooper at the top left, and you never saw any use or reason for that. The whole outer artwork here on the sides really makes no sense. I would kind of hope for a multi-ball where you could lock the balls. And if there is one of those, I'm certainly not seeing it. There we go. So, this is a good quick multi-ball, certainly, but I would have really preferred a lock 3 balls thing happening, because I like that, and then some drop down targets, sneak in targets. It'd be nice to see Boba Fett take on a Jedi or Sith, somebody with a lightsaber, see what he could do there. Maybe resist a Jedi mind trick. That could certainly be something you could do. Like, you could have him do certain things that we didn't particularly see in the movies, but I bet their license actually told them that you couldn't have him do anything that didn't actually happen in the movie. So then, yeah, I would certainly need to do the research and go see every second he was on screen and what did he say, what did he do. Have him play 3D chess. None of those Star Wars games brought up the 3D chess game that they were playing. So that could have been a cutesy reference. Maybe a mini playfield. And see, that would be cool if you implied that Boba Fett was a master strategist. Didn't make it up that ramp.
Time is up.
I don't think I succeeded there. Might as well just try a 50 million one. Bounty on spice trafficker. So I have to get this far left ramp. And that's what's gonna be the trouble. Give me that far left ramp. I got that one. One more ball.
Skill shot.
Skill shot.
extra ball is lit.
Extra ball is lit. Alright. Well, I got an extra ball lit now.
Don't move.
Come on, hit that award.
There are no jobs for bounty hunters now.
Excellent. We'll meet again, friends.
So, blew my chance for an extra ball. And we're at 55 minutes in. That is perfect timing. Our high score was 15 million. Honestly, a better player than me could probably get it a lot higher than that, actually. I wouldn't be surprised if it's 100 million or higher. But we did what we could do, and that gets me up to 2,051 for the super score. Multiply that by the 53 tables we played now, and my wizard score is 108,703. And we are now officially done with the Star Wars playfield table. So let's just go here and look at all the tables we liked. We liked the Force Awakens, the newest ones, obviously. I didn't really like the Might of the First Order. I liked Rebels quite a bit. I was alright, I think, with Han Solo. I really didn't like the droids. I think episode 4 was alright. Master of the Force had some interesting ideas, but was a pretty bad table, so I'll say it's average. Episode 6 here was pretty bad as a table, and it had no right to be at all, considering it's a major part of the movie. This is the first table we ever stopped at 30 minutes and just started looking at the preview tables instead, which helped save us probably 2 more hours or 1 more hour of recording. Starfighter Assault, about average. I did like Darth Vader. Episode 5 was average. The Clone Wars, let's see, was Clone Wars good? I think we liked the Clone Wars, but it probably does say something that I can't remember it, and I only played it like 4 or 5 tables ago. And then Boba Fett, just kind of average too. So if you're gonna get the whole thing, you're running at best a 50-50 ratio. Sadly, that is kind of how it is with all these tables. Half of them are good, half of them are bad. If we get lucky, half of the Marvel tables will be good. But we still need to get Blade next time and see if that turns out good, and then Iron Man, and then Spider-Man and Wolverine. And if all of those tables turn out alright or average, I think you're about 50-50 on the Marvel tables, and then you're probably even lower ratio of success for the independent licenses and the no licenses table. Because while most of these tables are pretty average, of the no licenses, none of them really make you want to go back and play them again. Let's see the leaderboards and the achievements and all of that. So the achievements were complete the Empire Special Assignments, all of the Empire Special Assignments, and complete all of the Hutt Special Assignments. So you would have had to do it, both of them. Interesting. Leaderboard now. Top score 6 billion, big old cheater. Then number 2 is 4 billion, cheater. And then number 3 is 1.4 billion points. And then it goes down to 900 million, then 700 million, 600 million, and then pretty steady down to 500 million. So it's almost believable that number 5 here may have actually gotten it legitimately, but then another 200 million on top of that, and then ridiculous 500 million difference here, a ridiculous 3200 million difference there, and then another 200 million difference there, or 2 billion difference there. In comparison to me, I got 15 million, and the high score they were expecting us to get was only 5. So 20 times better than me would be 300 million. So 40 times better than me, probably believable, yeah. But the others, not so much. We have the super score never changes, and the Pinball Wizard score never changes. Big numbers, way too big numbers. No friends to challenge, no friends to be the Pinball King of. Even if I did have friends, I'd almost certainly be the Pinball King on all of them. Because I bet they would only play Pinball FX for short amounts of times, much shorter amounts than I've played. So, yeah, that's Star Wars. That now finishes the system we were doing. We will do Marvel's Blade next, then Tesla, then we'll come back and do Iron Man, then El Dorado, and then Spider-Man, then V12, and then Wolverine all the way over here, and then Sorcerer's Lair, and then we are done. We will have covered every single table that I can see here. So if there's some secret DLC or DLC for a non-Steam version, yeah, then I can't see it, but otherwise I feel pretty satisfied we've done all the tables after that point. That's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment if you want to, and watch every second of my videos. All of that helps out. If you want to support me further, you can click on my name, Rydo. On the right will be a blue button that says support this channel. Click it, make a donation. And if you want a friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.